Coming up on the Final FronTia. I nearly cried of all the things that I could have possibly said.
Why am I so bad at your quizzes, Olivia?
The TikTok live stream got demonetized because I asked Ollie Alexander if their song was about poppers.
Come on my first podcast, I'll get axed from Eurovision, sacked from Escape to the Country.
Welcome. Hi.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to my home.
I love it. How long have you lived here for?
Not long enough to get a more interesting curtain,
I love what
unfortunately.
you've done with it, though.
Thank you.
It's very cute.
Soft walls.
It's beautiful. Thank you for having me. Can I just say, I'm a big fan of the podcast.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a big fan of you. I heard the Jade Adams episode because she's a good friend of mine and I love her to bits. I heard Ryland's episode. It's so good. Like, I never get invited on podcasts.
What?
So I know, hopefully in an hour's time, you're not going to be like, I can see why. But honestly, to be here, I'm honoured. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for coming.
Thank
I feel
you.
like we have a lot in common, so I feel like we've got so much area to talk about.
I know.
In this world.
And I feel like I usually see you once a year at Eurovision.
Yes. That's the first time we met, wasn't it?
Was it at Eurovision?
I think so.
So that would have been, because I saw you obviously in Basel. Did I see you in Malmö?
Yes.
I met you in Malmö.
Yeah.
And that would have been, and I met you on a rooftop of the hotel when I interviewed you, and that was the first time. And I feel like I really fangirled over you when I met you.
Do you remember what I said in that interview? Can I tell that story?
What did you say in the interview?
So this is a controversial yet brave story. Just before I arrived, this guy came up to me and was like, can I have a photo? And I said, yeah, sure. And then my friend grabbed me and took me away because it was a member of another delegation who had been taking those photos and posting it on that delegation's Instagram story to pretend that person was supporting that year's song. It happened to Nikki Doll from Drag Race France, and I just didn't realise that's what was happening. So my friend grabbed me. I'm not naming the name of the delegation, but I'm sure everyone can work it out. And then when I came up to speak to you, and you said, who's your pick to win this year?
Yes, I remember this.
And because I was thinking about that, I said the name of that delegation by mistake, panicked, and then went, I mean Ireland. I was thinking Ireland. It's Ireland, Bambi Thug, Ireland. Because it was just all I was thinking about was like getting ambushed by another delegation.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. I nearly cried. I was like, of all the things that I could have possibly said, that was the wrong moment.
And that was our first meeting. And then this year in Basel, a much more chilled year of Eurovision. I thought in Switzerland, did you have fun?
Yeah, it was such a nicer vibe, I think, less stressful. But also not my favourite, is this wrong to say? Not my favourite year for songs.
Okay.
Is that wild?
No.
Am I putting myself out there?
I think that's fair. I feel like, because I don't know about you, like in the build-up to Eurovision, because obviously in my role as a commentator, I swat up on all the songs. I live them, I breathe them. What I actually do is, around my house in the build-up to the contest, I print off a crib sheet on all of the acts that are going to be performing, and I stick them up all around the house. There's one like in the downstairs bathroom, so when I'm having a wee, I can read my notes on San Marino. There's one like in the kitchen. I have them all around the house, and I really sort of like live, breathe it, and sleep it in the build-up. Yeah. And then like a few months later, I'll do that thing when I've got like my phone music on shuffle.
Yeah.
And then a random song will come up that I've not heard for months. And I'll be like, I cannot believe I absolutely obsessed over this and treated it like it was some sort of Ivor Novello winning Whitney Houston song. And then when you hear it out, it's a bit like hearing a Christmas song out of context. Yeah. When you hear a Eurovision song like in, because I'm fatigued by Eurovision by the time I get to like autumn time. Yeah. And when you hear it, it's a bit like if Mariah Carey came on in May. It's a bit like, oh, this is weird.
I agree with you. The problem that I have is that I feel like I have an inherent bias towards like the women of Eurovision.
Yes, I love pop girls.
Yeah, me too. So like this year, Sisal, Mariana Grande, obsessed.
Serving.
Yeah, and they got like no points for everyone. I was fuming.
I love a pop girl. Honestly, as soon as I see a pop girl, they could come out and sing the alphabet. And I feel like, obviously I'm completely fair and across the board and unbiased in my commentary, but I feel like there's something in my brain that just clicks into gear where I just want to take it up like 1% of a notch when I was sort of commentating on them. But the pop girls at Eurovision, I live for them. Do you remember the girl from Spain this year?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you a story about her.
Oh,
so
please do.
we were in the hotel lobby at our hotel, obviously, and she was staying so it was a lady called Melody.
Love Melody.
She represented Spain, and she had a song called Esa Diva. I want to kind of, how did it go?
Esa Diva Valiente,
I mean, it was amazing.
Poderosa.
And she was a bit like, so she was a child star in Spain, apparently. She had a song called the Gorilla Song, which was like a huge, I feel like she was a bit like Spanish equivalent of Jojo Siwa in Spain. She was huge when she was like 8, 9, 10, and then she went off the radar for years, and then she came back at Eurovision, and she just sort of had this aura of being like a superstar. I remember seeing her sat down in the hotel reception with her husband, who was like Zeus. Honestly, his neck was bigger than my head. If you spray painted him bronze, he could have been a statue. And he kind of had his arm around her. And I remember being like, oh my God. And I said to my producer, that's Melody over there. Should we go and say her? We can't go and say her. We're talking about like she was actual Celine Dion.
Yeah.
We were literally like, we can't, not to Melody. But it's funny, that week, they all become massive superstars. And I imagine that, like, I love Melody, but if I walk past her now in Aldi, I'll probably be like, oh, it's that woman from Spain. But when you were there at that week, I'm like, oh my goodness me, it's actual, the lady from Spain. It's that lady from Spain.
I get like super fangirly.
Oh,
like
my
it's
goodness.
so true. It's like something about that bubble that suddenly you're like, I remember like Nemo arrived and like couldn't like get through the crowds of like people taking photos, like getting paps walking through with just like a raggedy old hat on, like as Nemo is wont to do. But everyone acting like this was like, I don't know, Justin Bieber.
They do.
Arrived. Yeah.
And I contribute to that. How was your week at Eurovision? Because I feel like it's amazing and it's incredible. But when you sort of work there, it is full on. It's 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's really intense. There's a lot of things that are sort of like going on and going through your head, like while things are happening. There's the whole politics of the situation that is really difficult. The hardest thing that I did was hosting the turquoise carpet.
Oh, that is, because I had to do that in Liverpool.
Oh, really?
And that is a job.
Well, listen, it was a different level. I think when you did it in Liverpool, a long carpet, like camera cranes, like coming in,
this is like the
like
opening
all of
ceremony of Eurovision. So it's the first time we see all the acts in that country. They walk down a carpet and they're interviewed by the world's media.
Yeah, yours was gorgeous. I was on a rug. It was a turquoise rug.
Well, yours was outside the hotel, wasn't it?
What was it?
They
walked
it was a conference centre.
Yeah, it was awful. No offense to the EBU, because you had like the yellow brick road.
They went through the middle of Liverpool. The sun was shining.
Stunning.
It was like a film premiere. The year I did it, it was literally like they were turning up to the film premiere of Wicked.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I saw that clip. Iconic.
Thank you.
It was literally like they were rocking up to that.
Yeah, my year I hosted it with another drag queen from Sweden called Electra, who's wonderful. And just before we went on, we were getting ready together. It was lovely having a chat. And she suddenly went, I think I'm going to find this really hard because I don't speak English that well. And I was like, oh, brilliant. Can't wait. It's going to be gorgeous. But we were genuinely on a rug of approximately this size.
Wow.
The TikTok live stream got demonetized because I asked Ollie Alexander if their song was about poppers, which I did actually run past a member of the EBU team who clearly was not senior enough in that team to clear that. But I asked and they were like, yeah, go on, ask it.
Wow.
Just trying to be a little quirky and interesting, and that's a mistake that I've learned from.
Amazing. Can I just say, sorry to go off on a massive tangent.
No, let's.
I just mentioned the Wicked moment. Obsessed. So the nearest I can get to that was 1 year I was at Glastonbury.
Love.
And I was walking around doing my thing. And then I saw Louise Redknapp of Naked.
Love
and she
Louise.
came over to me, hey, Richie, gave me a hug. And all the people I were with were like, oh. But I mean, Ariana Grande, that's kind of like my Louise Redknapp story with a dunk on it.
Well, weirdly, I was with Louise Redknapp when that happened. Yeah. So that ties in. That is 2 years in a row at the Wicked premiere that Ariana Grande has said my name and said hi.
It's not normal. It's amazing.
It's wild. I feel like it is one of those things that I mentally, like everyone's like, oh my God, you must have been like ecstatic. I just was like, hello, and moved on. Because I can't process the scale of this kind of thing. Like, I'm fully gagged by, like, the fact that I can text, like, H from Steps. Like, that overwhelms
that's
me.
a big deal. Come on.
That's huge. That is a huge deal.
How many hits has he had? Come on.
Iconic.
Yeah.
And to me, that's, like, overwhelming because that's, like, my full childhood. But I feel like Ariana Grande, I'm like, oh, yes, that's very nice. And I can't quite process.
Do you know what's amazing about it? Because obviously they're doing this whole Wicked press tour.
Yeah.
And it just looks wild. And every time you see them popping up, they just look like they're in a fever dream. You can kind of see in their face, like, what is going on here? But she kind of snaps out of it for a minute to be starstruck by you. And that's the amazing thing. She kind of goes from like, oh my God, get me out, to your coffee. Like, it's amazing. And then she snaps back into, oh my God, I'm back in this fever dream.
Do you know, I think it's because obviously like my original series of Drag Race happened in lockdown and we know that Ariana and Frankie were watching, and I have a theory because they followed different people from each season, from that season. So I think Frankie was like Team Bimini and
Frankie
Ahura.
Bridge.
Frankie Grande.
Frankie Grande. Frankie Grande.
not Frankie Bridge, not the iconic pixie cut diva. So like, I think that must be a moment when you're in this whirlwind, like traveling the world, talking about the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Something that breaks you out of that when you're in a city that you don't live in and all of that kind of thing. Just a little bit of familiarity. And I think that is kind of what it is. Probably a bit like when we see each other from a distance at Eurovision. It's like, oh, hello. Hi.
I know, but on a different scale. I'm not quite Ariana Grande.
I think you might be. You are
in the right light.
With a little ponytail on. No, but in the sort of like Eurovision community, like people must come up to you and be like, oh, you're the...
It's such a strange... Like the whole week is so strange, isn't it? And then when we get there, I feel like because we're part of the UK delegation and part of that commentary team, I feel like an actual... sort of like superstar for the week. Like you walk around and it's sort of hard to get around the city where you are because obviously everybody there loves Eurovision. They're part of that fandom and we're kind of part of the fandom as are you, being part of the presenting team, being part of the commentary team, and people just want to get over there and get a piece of whatever they can get. And it's so bizarre to walk around. I'm like that lady from Spain I just mentioned. I imagine if these people at Eurovision see me and Aldi in a couple of months, like, oh, it's him with the big teeth and glasses, but at Eurovision they're a bit like, oh, it's him. It's him off the commentary.
I love it.
I know.
I think it's fabulous. I think like I have so much respect for like everything that you do for Eurovision, but my one aim for BBC Eurovision is, you know, when they do, like, you must love it, when they do that announcement picture and it's all the like Eurovision presenters and like you're on it, Ryland's on it. I want to get on that one day. That's my only objective.
You should.
I've done like the digital content and I've never made it onto that like lovely, I think they must make it in Canva, that lovely like montage of all of your faces.
Do you know what? If I'm lucky enough, because we generally don't know, and touch what I do, and you know, please make it happen. If I'm lucky enough to be part of it, and you are again, then that I will make a stand and say, I do not want to be on that picture if Tia's not on that picture. We're a team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't leave a member of the girl band off the picture, would you?
That is so true. We'll come back to girl bands in a second, but while we're here at Eurovision, Miss Olivia Alafia,
hey,
you have a little surprise for us, I believe.
Oh my God, is Javine going to walk in?
It is. Touch my fire, Javine.
We are going to do a little Eurovision from BBC Radio 2. They did make this. Quiz.
Okay.
This is pressure.
I feel like this might have been one of those quizzes that I do and just send in a botched score because I didn't actually do it and now I'm going to score lower than it.
Oh no.
Oh no. Actually, no, I always do the quizzes, obviously.
Okay, we're in this together.
Okay. I feel pressure now.
Yeah, me too.
We could both be off that picture next year now.
No.
Which country won the first Eurovision Song Contest back in 1956?
Okay.
Do you know why I'm so annoyed about this? I once did the Eurovision Pointless Celebrities with AJ Adudu.
Love.
And so I went into AJ and I went, before we do this quiz, we need to know who's hosted the most times, who hosted the first one, who won the first one.
Yeah.
And I was like, so we sat there and did it. And now it's kind of gone out of my brain. I feel like the first one, because there weren't as many countries in it when it first started.
No, I think it was only 7
and
or
I
something?
feel like it would have been sort of a lot of the core countries. So I imagine all the big five were in it from the start.
Yes.
So it could have been someone like in Italy, because I remember, you know, early on when they had Volere.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, it was kind of like those days. Who do you think?
I think, so I'm quite confident on this one that the host country...
you know it.
We're a team.
Yes.
We've got to go back and
You're
forth.
carrying me and I love this.
Well, I think the first ever Eurovision was it 1956? I think that was the year, because next year is the 70th.
If you're not on that picture, come on.
I think it was Switzerland, because I think they hosted and won the first one.
I feel like you're right.
It was Big Neutral Energy.
I feel like you're right.
Correct.
We'll go for, yes!
Oh,
well done.
Teamwork.
Well done.
Makes the dream work.
Teamwork-ish.
Do you know, I also, I did the Eurovision special of The Weakest Link and was voted off. Lauren Layfield, junior Eurovision commentator, went first and I went second. All down to Cheryl Baker from Bucks Fizz, and I've never let her forget it. True story.
Cheryl Baker.
From The Fizz, sorry.
So my mum went on a cruise this year and they had like a guest speaker on there and it was Cheryl Baker and she was obsessed. My mum is like obsessed with Cheryl Baker.
As she should be.
And every time she pops up on telly, she's like, you know, her real name's Rita.
Is she a Rita?
She's a Rita. And do you know Cheryl Baker's done Eurovision more than once?
No, wait, when?
So she was in a band called Coco,
right?
Who represented the UK, and they came like 13th. And then a few years later, she came back and won it with Bucks Fizz.
Coco.
And
that's good knowledge.
Yeah, and when Coco came, I think it was like 13th or 11th or something, she was seen as like a failure. Like it was kind of like, now 13th, there'd be an open top bus. She'd go around the cities and the towns and everything. But obviously, a few years later, she came back and then won it with Bucks Fizz. Good old Rita.
Rita.
Until she voted you off bloody weakest link.
Fuming.
Oh.
Not Rita. Love Rita.
Second question.
Oh, okay. That's only the first one.
Sorry, I will shut up.
No, please don't. It's great.
Who was the first act to represent the UK at Eurovision? You've got 3 here, okay?
Wait, before you go in,
yeah.
I always get confused about this one because I always think it's Sandy Shaw Puppet on a String, but that's later.
Was that the first winner?
I think that was the first winner, not the first represent. Okay.
Yeah, this is the first act to represent the UK.
Okay.
Ever. So we've got Patricia Bredon.
Love her. Don't know who she is.
Kathy Kirby.
Come on, Kathy Kirby.
Ronnie Carroll.
Right, Ronnie, that's 2 first names.
They all sound like singers of the 50s, don't they? Yeah. Ronnie Carroll sounds like one of those sort of triple threat showbiz people of the 50s. Like, Ronnie Carroll sings, dances.
Ronnie Carroll.
Just comedy.
Patricia Bredon does not sound star-studded.
No.
But it's also 1956.
It is.
And it's the UK. So
Kathy Kirby sounds like somebody who I feel like would have been a pop star on the up at the time.
Yeah.
And her manager would have sat down and gone, look, you know, if we're going to make this next album sell, we've got this thing coming up, the Eurovision Song Contest. I'm not doing that, said Kathy Kirby. But the manager was like, honestly, it'd be good for you. And then she did it. That's my theory.
Okay. And I feel like, isn't Kirby like a city in the Midlands?
I think isn't Kirby a place in Liverpool?
Sure.
There's a beach, Kirby Beach.
Okay, that makes sense. And we hosted in Liverpool.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Is that a sign?
Yes.
Kathy Kirby.
Incorrect. It's Patricia Bredon.
Not Patricia Bredon. That's quite a wholesome name. Our Trish.
Okay. Domenico Modugnos.
What are these questions?
Nel de Pinto de Blue. You know what? We're going to just go past this one.
Okay, yeah, that was...
It's for the best, babe.
Yeah, the pronunciation was...
Here we go.
Do you know what I always think, by the way? Sorry. I'm a nightmare. This is why they don't have me on podcasts.
No, I love it. It's
you
great.
know how Olivia just stumbled over the question, not to dwell on it. But imagine if Ramesh did that on the weakest link. It would balls up the whole round. Like, he's so good at being so quick with the questions and not reacting to stupid answers. If Ramesh just did that, like, Dominica, like, it would mess, like, we'd eat into the minutes and then have to start the round again.
Well, you know, there's a system for that. As I discovered on an as yet unaired episode of The Finish Line, hosted by Roman Kemp.
Oh my goodness.
If Roman stumbles on a question, they have to reset the chariots back to where they were and get a new question. Roman did not stumble on the questions when we were doing it. Yeah, really, really good.
See, I would never be good. This is why I never get that job, because of my teeth. Like, I struggle with some words, so them chariots would never move.
Resetting back.
They're like 4 hours later.
Actually, that might be a lie, because I think at the point that this episode of the podcast comes out, that episode might have aired. If this is after the 16th
I feel like
of December.
The Finish Line's a Christmas special.
It is 16th of December.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's either happened or it hasn't happened. Spoiler, I either win or I don't.
Oh, wow.
This is coming out on the 15th of December.
Oh, watch it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'm tuning in.
Love that. Okay, exciting times. Next question, Live, Laugh, Love.
Which London venue was used for the UK's first time hosting Eurovision back in 1960?
Right, the one that it isn't is Harrogate, because that's the funniest place the UK has ever.
Yeah, and North Yorkshire.
Yeah.
But I love that Harrogate hosted it.
It's so funny. In like a conference
So which London
centre.
venue was it, are you asking?
Yes, was used for the UK's first time hosting.
Oh, London. Okay.
Because I feel like in the early days, when you watch it, they weren't in big arenas.
Yeah.
They were sort of like studios, weren't they? Because if you look when ABBA won, they're kind of like in a TV studio. And when ABBA won in Brighton, didn't they? And they were in the Dome in Brighton. So I feel like it wouldn't be like one of the big arenas, although I don't think the O2 was around in the 60s.
But what did they have? They had like the Royal Albert Hall, but that's quite big.
Could have been Royal Albert Hall. It could have been, what's that theatre called in the middle of London? Palladium.
Do you want 3 options?
Oh, go on then, yes.
Not if 2 of them are the Royal Albert Hall or the London Palladium, because that doesn't help us.
One of them is the Royal Albert Hall.
Okay.
Oh.
One of them is Royal Festival Hall.
Wait.
And the third one is BBC Television Centre.
Oh.
It could have just been BBC Television Centre, couldn't it?
But Royal Festival Hall like rings a bell now that I've heard.
Should we go for that? Because you've been right so far. The only times we've trusted me, we've got it wrong with old Kathy Kirby. So let's go with you.
It was our Trish throwing us off. Let's go Royal Festival Hall because that does ring a bell for some reason.
Correct.
Yes, you're so good.
No, we're a team. It was just Kathy Kirby went rogue.
But I just want to contribute at some point.
Okay, I feel like the next one is yours.
Why was the 1969 Eurovision Song Contest particularly notable? There were multiple winners. There was no winner. It was cancelled at last minute.
There was a year where there was a 4-way tie. So I know that definitely happened.
Should we go with the 4-way tie?
Yeah. What were the other options again? I think it might be that one.
So there were multiple winners. There was no winner. It was cancelled at last minute.
Are we going 4-way tie?
4-way tie.
Okay.
Correct.
Oh. Yes. Oh, yes.
We smashed
so good. You are so good.
Do you know what? We worked as a team. We rationalised it out. We got the answers.
I'm not making excuses, but I feel like I'll come into my own like post Gina G.
Yeah. That was very early work of Eurovision, which is hard.
And you've just proved your credentials.
Well, for Eurovision taking place in 1969, yeah. Do you have like one song, like one Eurovision song that stands out as your ultimate favourite?
Oh my God, I can't pick one. So favourites. The obvious one, Loreen. Euphoria and Tattoo, they were iconic. But I love Elena Paparizou. You're my lover, undercover. It was my number one. You're my sacred passion and I have no other. The first song I was really obsessed with for the UK, like because I always loved it, but the first time I really threw my weight behind the UK was Javine. Touch My Fire. Because I was a massive Javine fan. I was gutted when she didn't get into Girls Aloud. And then she kind of released a few singles. And then she sort of went away. And then she was announced as being part of, potentially one of the acts who could represent the UK at Eurovision against Katie Price and against Gina G.
I'm not just
and I think
anybody.
Was Anthony Costa that year as well?
I think that might be the year Anthony went solo for
So
Eurovision.
I feel like they all sort of went head to head, and there was the big build-up, wasn't it? Katie Price versus Javine. It was a different time, but I loved it. And I remember, I feel like this is an early... there were many early signs that I was going to be a gay. But I used to remember when Javine's song came out, Touch My Fire, like it was before streaming and all that.
Yeah.
So Eurovision put it on their website. And in my break time at college, at Halesowen College, I'd go into the library and like listen to Javine Touch My Fire. And I remember one time I didn't plug the headphones into the computer. So I sat there with them in. It was playing Touch My Fire. And then people were like, shh. And I was like, oh. So I was really obsessed with that. And I feel like that was the first year I really threw my weight behind somebody winning the selection show and then representing the UK. But I love all the people who represent the UK, but that was the first year I was like, oh, this is my girl and she's got to win.
I remember that distinctly, as well. It was very much like a moment, but she was absolutely royally screwed over with the points in the final.
Oh, yeah.
I was absolutely furious because she was amazing.
But she was the same year as You're My Lover.
Yeah.
And they were quite similar. That was the first year when I've always loved Eurovision, but that was the first year when I was like, the UK.
What year was that, Olivia?
2005?
2005?
2005 or 2004. I want to say 2005, and it was in Ukraine. Because at the end she goes, Spasiba.
Oh, okay.
It was in Kyiv.
I love that.
So Ruslana would have won 2004, so it would have been Javine 2005.
Wild Dances. I think that might have been my first year of like really... Oh, that is correct.
See, I'm getting them right now.
Post Gina G era.
Told ya. I'm just showing off.
That's the Eurovision era is PGG and BGG, before and after Gina G.
But I sometimes think like the trajectory of Girls Aloud if Javine would have got in that band. Because I remember Pop Stars Arrival.
Oh,
I always remember, because I had the VHS of Pop Stars Arrivals after it came out. And,
Love.
I was obsessed with it. And I always remember Pete Waterman. Because remember, it was the boys versus the girls. And each week someone would get voted off. And then the final five would be the boy band, which was One True Voice.
Yeah.
And the girl band, which was Girls Aloud. And I remember Pete Waterman saying one week after Javine performed, I think she did Natural Woman.
Yeah.
And he went, well, it's a foregone conclusion that Javine's in the band. And it was kind of just a done thing that she was probably the best singer at the time. And that she was going to get in the band. And whose place would she have taken? Like, how would it have been different for the band? How would their music have been different? Would they have lasted longer? longer? Would they have lasted shorter? Like, it was such a sliding doors moment. Like, she could have been in that band.
There's a parallel universe where Javine was in Girls
and
Aloud.
made an impact, because she wouldn't have just been like a filler member.
No.
They'd have probably pushed her to do all the lead vocals in the early days, you'd have thought.
Yeah, she would have probably been the, like, Nadine riffing.
Can I tell you a Javine story?
Oh, please do.
I don't know why this is coming to like a... So,
this is a podcast about Javine.
I was living in Brentford in West London, and it was in lockdown, and I was going out for, you know, when you go for your, like, one walk a day?
Yeah.
And I remember, like, walking around on my headphones, on my big sort of wireless headphones, and I was crossing a road, and I pressed the button to make the lights go red, and then they went red, and then this car pulled up at the lights, and I'm not minding my own music, and then I look in the car, and it's Javine, and I went... And I looked at her, and she looked really alarmed, because obviously she's been out the spotlight for a long time. But I literally went, like, as if I'd seen, like, Beyonce. And then I literally stared at her for about 2 seconds, and she looked really like, I think she even clicked to lock the door, like, because I looked at, like an absolute nutcase. And then I literally just mouthed at her, like, I love you, I love you. And then I made like a heart shape with my fingers, and I crossed the road, and then she drove off. And I was thinking, like, she must have drove off and thought, what on earth? Like, she must have thought she was on like a hidden, you know, like the Truman Show or something, like a hidden camera kind of thing. Like, she was probably just going for her like shop, you know, to get in the queue at Morrison's and get home and sanitize all the food down after she's done it, and then she has to encounter me on the way. And I remember like when I crossed the road, I went through my contacts and thought, who can I ring now who will appreciate this? Because I just feel like there's not, like, I wish I had you, because I feel like you would have really appreciated 100%. That. I rang my other half, and he was like, meh. And there was no one who I could tell. He was like, great. Like, it was such like a massive moment for me.
I get it. I understand. I really do. I will tell you, this is not directly involving Javine, but when I was 14, 15, started like basically forcing my school friends to make like fan films with me, like around school. And one Saturday, we went to my friend Chantel's house, and I was making a Doctor Who fan film. I'd written everything, painted my friend Chantel blue. And the plot line was she was an alien who could hypnotize people. So my friend Jacob played the Doctor, and Chantel had to lip sync Javine's Touch My Fire to hypnotize the Doctor. And we like choreographed a routine.
My goodness.
And, so like the crossover of my Doctor Who and Eurovision obsession, I just basically forced my friends to like play the game I wanted to play.
I hope Javine knows what an impact she's had on popular culture with a certain demographic.
Yeah, a very particular demographic.
A very niche demographic.
For the purposes of editor Richard, I feel like we need a socials clip that is just every time we say the word Javine in this episode of the podcast.
How have we got here? How has Javine become the front and centre of this episode? I mean, good for her.
The Javine count is high on this episode.
Good for you, girl.
Back to the Girls Aloud point.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, there was a mild controversy at the time because people alleged, and there were Ofcom complaints, I remember, people alleged that when you called to vote for Javine, it said, thank you for voting for Sarah.
I remember this. I mean, I couldn't possibly comment. Although, I mean, I said I want to come on here and gossip about people. So I'm like a long-term friend, I'd say friend of Pete Waterman.
Yeah.
So before I started Radio 2, I had a show on BBC WM in the West Midlands.
Love.
And I was on 10 till 12, and then Pete Waterman was on 12 till 2.
Okay.
So he would just come in. And even when I was on air, he would just sit in the studio, even though I was on air at the time, and just talk to me in between the tracks. I mean, it wasn't like, he'd just come in like, Richie! He'd come in and then just chat to me. And I would just love picking his, because I mean, it's frigging Pete Waterman. Do you know what I mean? And then when I first moved to London, he invited me out for dinner.
Yeah.
But I had to go meet him at his house. And I walked in there, and he was like showing me all these awards. He's got loads of model train tracks.
Love.
I was just like, it was, and also I don't know if it's still on there, but somebody had spray painted "I hate steps" on the true story. I'm not exaggerating, on the side of his house, and he just thought it was hilarious.
That's so funny.
Yeah, in London.
I also, by the way, fully was like coming into this being like, I'm not just going to talk to you about
Sorry,
Eurovision.
it's me, wang it on. Let's change the subject. No more. If we say Javine now, we have to put £1 in a jar.
Okay.
If we say Eurovision, we've got to put £2 in a jar.
I want a Javine counter on this full episode.
We'll be up to Barbados the amount of times we said Javine with all the pounds we put in the jar.
I know. Well, you just said Javine. That's £1.
And you have. That's £2.
There we go. That's £2.
Nearly got a meal deal.
I love that. I was going to like bring up like all the things that you're up to, like things that you are doing. The fact that, didn't you used to play football as well?
Yes, I did. And I think people are all surprised by this. So I played football my whole life. I grew up playing football. I played to a good standard. I kind of stopped when I kind of moved to London and did Radio 2 because the team that I played for was in the Midlands, and I was down in London all week, and on a breakfast show I wasn't seeing my other half, so I had to stop playing football. I loved playing football. I'm a massive football fan. I've still got a season ticket at West Brom, even though I can't go to all the matches. And I try and play in charity matches every now and again, but I'm just at an age now, because I don't exercise as much as I should. I just pull something every time I play. I played not so long ago, and you're playing against all these young, fit Love Islanders and people who've been on the reality shows. So they just spend all their time in their gym, and I'm like old Nana. Come on for like 5 minutes and then just pull up with like a pulled ligament or something. So football, I played my whole life, and like it's always been amazing escapism for me, sort of playing football. And I miss it, actually. I do miss it, and I always think I'm going to get back into it. But A, I was never that great, and B, I've lost a yard of pace now. So I can't be running around. No. And also, I can't get injured. I've got to do show business. I can't have a broken leg and be going on Celebrity Pointless and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's true. You should play for fun, as you said, like the charity matches.
I do.
And stuff.
I do, because they're always fun. But you're just up against people who are like 15 years younger than you, quicker, fitter. And I'm just like, you're just chasing people around. I mean, it sounds awful, like chasing all these fit boys around. But it's, I can't do it anymore, Tia.
It looks difficult.
It is, especially at my age.
Like full-size pitch.
But you know what they do? When you get over 35, you can do walking football. So you can do over 35's football, and you're just not allowed to run. It's just like walking around the pitch.
I think 35 is a little bit young for that.
It is.
Like maybe over 65.
It's almost like an X Factor when they made it like you over 25, over 35. They must walk when they play football.
Do you, like back in the day of the X Factor, now you've mentioned that, I used to think, God, I can't imagine being in the over 25s.
But they always looked really old.
But now...
Like Wagner, who, funny story, was my brother's supply PE teacher for a bit.
No.
Wagner taught my brother PE. But they were always like Wagner, Mary Byrne, Chico always... I mean, Chico looked about 40 at the time.
Yeah.
Like, so the over 25s were always... Like, it should have been like over... 40, shouldn't it, really?
Yeah, because I feel like 25 is not wild.
Yeah, and also being 26, like, it did make you feel like if you're over 25, like, you're over the hill.
That's why I used to think. I think about that, like, in reality TV in general. I used to watch, like, America's Next Top Model when I was younger.
Yeah.
And think those were, like, grown-up ladies. They were 19. Like, they...
I was obsessed with, like, Big Brother in the noughties.
Same.
What was your favourite year of Big Brother?
That is a really difficult question, because I am the level of, like...
Do you get down YouTube rabbit holes?
Yes, massively.
So I sometimes, like, when we have our tea, so me and Dean, we always have our tea together. And we always we'll probably watch, like, an old quiz back. Like, we're obsessed with, like, watching back, like, The Weakest Link, or watching back, like, the hit list. I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll be like, should we just put, like, an old, like, a Kim Woodburn video on? But I love the Charlie and Chanel argument from Big Brother 8 about Rihanna's age.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, again, of the time, some of the things they were saying to each other, not okay now.
No.
But it just shows how society's changed, how Big Brother's changed, how reality TV's changed.
Massively.
But how iconic was some of those people?
So, like, really, I'm like the level of obsessed with Big Brother. I'm not going to lie to you.
So, favourite year, favourite housemate ever. And from the vintage years. Not that it's not vintage now, but from those Channel 4 heyday years.
I think Brian is probably my favourite, like, ever.
Bella or Downing?
Downing.
Yeah.
Second ever winner.
Yeah.
Because I think that, like, gay representation for me at a young age, I was like, this makes sense to me. And that sort of,
and
like,
it sort of wasn't questioned or a thing.
No.
Like, I remember watching that, and you think Nadia, who won Big Brother 5?
Yes.
Like, at the time, like, they won because they were amazing and funny and great television. And I feel like at the time as well, Nadia didn't even tell the housemates that she was trans, if I remember correctly. And it just wasn't questioned, or not that it should be, but isn't it amazing that that was 2005? And we kind of look back at that time. I'm talking about, like, the Chanel and Charlie, and we're like, different time, but actually there were moments back then where it was almost more progressive, where people were just allowed to be themselves and sort of celebrated for being themselves. And if you were a good person and funny, that was enough, and you could win a show. And it wasn't like, oh, well, this, that, the other. And, that's amazing. And actually, for us growing up, probably I wasn't out when Nadia won or when Brian won.
Yeah.
But that representation, without knowing it, was amazing for me.
For sure.
And I remember my little brother, because he was obsessed with Big Brother as well, like, loved Brian. And obviously it's before he knew I was gay, and not even before I knew I was gay, but knowing that he would just watch Brian and be like, oh, this man's really funny. And, as we got through the series, he's like, oh, I want Nadia to win. It was just like, it's amazing.
Comfort.
It's just different, isn't it? Like, now, you have to be in a label, you have to be a box. And if you're going in there and you're trans, there has to be a conversation in the house at some point about, your feelings on it and the debate around it and everything. But back then, you could just go in there, get on with it, and then come out and have a nice life.
I think that, now you've mentioned it, I think that is my favourite year, despite like
fight night.
Stresses me out.
Yeah.
Stressed me out. I remember Ahmed smashing plates and screaming.
Michelle Bass.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Singing P.A.A.Zoo, Michelle.
Stop it.
P.A.A.Zoo.
I think I got on a train not so long ago and Victor got on the train. Remember Victor? Slick Vic.
Slick man.
But he kind of just walked past me. And then I was like, is that Victor off Big Brother 5? And also, another story. Oh, God, I'm such a nightmare.
No, I love it.
We went to watch Arsenal in the... some people I worked with at Radio 2 a few years ago, they were in like a final of a European competition. So we went to watch it in North London. And we were walking out the bar at the end and I looked at this guy and I went over and I went, you're Maxwell off Big Brother 6. And he went, fucking hell, mate, you've got a good memory. And then we just got talking. I was like, do you still get recognised? He was like, no, not really. And I kind of went, do you still see Saskia? He went, no, mate. And then just went off. But like, it is amazing.
For sure. I saw Maxwell many years ago as well in Shoreditch, like walking around the corner.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. The fury that came, I had to call my sister and be like, I've just seen that horrible Maxwell.
From 20, it could be a great man now, but you kind of, that's the thing with reality TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. Actually, that was Anthony, Craig, Maxwell. I loathed Saskia.
Oh my goodness.
I had such a personal vendetta against
When
her.
that series ended, I remember going into the centre of Birmingham and I saw one of the housemates and they were being mobbed. I don't know what they were doing there. They were just walking down the street. They were being I went over as well. And it was before camera phones. So people were just like, literally, there was a circle around them. And I was like, I have to find out who it was. So this is back in 2006 and it was Kinga. And I remember I gave her a hug. Again, it was before cell phones. I was like, I've just been watching you. Can I give you a hug? And I love how you go, Kinga, what a legend. Come on. But like those people, like I feel like they must even now still have moments where people come up to them. And
for sure.
Like, because it was just such an iconic time of television.
Massively. Makosi, Kinga probably still gets people talking about wine bottles, which is probably quite traumatic for her.
I know, bless her.
That was a really good year. Was that Orla as well?
Orla, yeah, and they couldn't say her name.
Yeah.
Science.
So, oh my God, the box.
Leslie. Derek. Oh, Derek.
Yeah.
The box challenge. Kamal, Leslie.
Yes.
You went in the nurse. Did you go in as a policewoman and come out as a nurse or the other way around?
I think she went in. Yeah, she went in as a police. Yeah, iconic.
Scary Mary.
What a good. Yeah, we should just do a Big Brother recap show. Like
I
going
love
through
it.
This is. I would literally sit and talk about this for years and years.
Obsessed.
I feel like, unfortunately, we have come to the end.
Oh, I just feel like I've come on and absolutely wanged on, but I've loved it.
No, I
I've
love
had
it.
so much fun.
You haven't even mentioned Escape to the Country.
No, so I'm doing Celebrity Escape to the Country because I was announced as one of the new presenters on Escape to the Country.
Yeah.
So that's on BBC One. We show amazing people around the countryside. We've got a celebrity special with Neil Jones from Strictly, which is coming out over Christmas and the New Year. That was amazing. I'm in Panto at the moment. My first ever year in Panto to Montfort Hall in Leicester doing Dick Whittington with Suzanne Shaw from Hearsay.
Wherever you go,
I'm gonna be there.
Love.
But yeah, now I'm in Panto. So I've done Strictly with Kim. I've done Panto with Suzanne. I'll have to do the Bake Off with Mylene. And then I've completed the set.
Oh, well, you need to get Noel and Danny as well.
Oh, I love Noel and Danny.
Me too. Noel was one of my biggest crushes when I was
Really?
younger. Yeah. This was my consistent plan when I was younger. So fancied Noel, said it was Suzanne. Fancied Paul from S Club 7, said it was Hannah. Like I just, I would cover it up with the blonde one. From
I always remember I went on like a weekend away with like my football mates. So this was back before I was out. So we probably go back to when I was like 19 or 20. And they were all kind of getting to the stage where Richie's never with girls and he's a bit fabulous. So, and I remember like we were all sat outside a bar and they were like, what? You know, it just makes you want to like give another.
Can't wait for this.
They were kind of like, Richie, like, what kind of girl are you into? It'll be your dream girl. And you know, you panic and you have to say somebody, but really you kind of want to be them.
Yeah.
And I remember going like, that Alicia out of Mystique. Obviously, I don't call her Alicia Dixon, but if at that time, Alicia, is it from Mystique? But like thinking back to it now, they'll be like, yeah, she's fit. Yeah, Alicia's fit. Yeah. Especially when she does the rap in Can't Get It Back. But like, it's just so funny thinking back to it. Like, and then this thing come up for ages. Like, if Alicia would be like they'd be like, oh, your mum was on telly this week.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Well, Alicia from Miss Dig. But it's so funny thinking back to it now. And then years later, I was like, Dada, I don't want to be with her. I want to be her. She got a man with 2 left feet. But it's so funny, like, thinking back to it. They put you on the spot and you have to think quickly.
That is so funny. That is so relatable as well. I remember when I started at uni, different time. I feel like people come out younger and younger now. But when I started at uni, I remember thinking, I don't know if I can like kiss boy, because I was in an all male like flat and like all of that kind of thing. I don't know like what the vibe is. They're all scary and straight. And the giveaway, I wasn't going to tell them or say anything. I was like drinking cider with them on my first day, thinking like lads. My phone rang. And my ringtone was All for One from High School Musical 2.
Oh, I love that.
And that was the giveaway. So I just put my Zac Efron poster up and was like, nah, it is what it is now.
Do you know what? Speaking of posters, though, because you know it's like in a student house. In second year, 6 lads, we moved into a student house. And you know it's like we were from that era where you put the flyers up from the clubs on the wall. But also it'd be posters. And I remember we had a massive Gemma Atkinson poster in the living room.
Hollyoaks,
And then it was at the time of like Nuts and Zoo. Mm-hmm. So all the lads would have like loads of posters on the wall. And I remember one time they were like, why have you got no sort of posters of girls on your wall? I mean, when you say no, it's so ridiculous, isn't it? But I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to do something. So I went out and I bought either Nuts or Zoo. And the centre poster was some random woman from Ladette to Lady. I don't know who it was, but I put her on the wall. And I think it's quite fitting that it was a Ladette to Lady person. I was like, oh, there she is, whatever her name is on the wall. But it's just such a ridiculous time. And I wish I could go back I wish I could have been so much more open and free at the time. I really do, because I feel like now I still see all those lads and they, obviously, love the fact that I am who I am and I can completely be myself. And they're always like, why weren't you just yourself at uni? And I think back to it now and I kind of think, why wasn't I? Like, it's a shame. I had a Cristiano Ronaldo poster up there instead of this Ladette to Lady woman, whoever she is, bless her.
It's nice that people can be like freer now.
And they're all amazing. And I think they would have accepted it, but it was just a different time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's different because it's like the judgment that you like fear and perceive. Sometimes that's not the reality of it, but you have to protect yourself.
And it's sort of at uni, I moved away to Leeds. So I've kind of gone away from home, and if I'm not accepted by this group who I'm with, then what I'm going to do, I'm 3 hours away from home. My friends from back home aren't there. Mm-hmm. And how would I navigate that when I'm trying to study and have a good time and discover myself as an adult? So you do have those fears. As soon as I left uni, I kind of came out. Yeah. That was the moment when I did it. But
thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. I've had so much fun. Yes, before I go on.
Before you go, we always like to end on a little game.
Yes.
And I know we've done the quiz, but Olivia has prepared for us a themed game to end on. Olivia, once again, over to you.
So, because in honour of your escape to the country, we are doing a themed game to do with the countryside.
Okay. Okay.
So, I'm going to tell you 4 stories.
Yes.
And in each one, you have to tell me if it's true or fake story.
Oh, I love this.
Okay, first one. The talking goat in Wales. A goat in a small Welsh village reportedly bleated a tune resembling a local folk song every morning at dawn.
See, if it didn't say every morning at dawn, I would believe it. Because, you sort of see on TikTok or Instagram that the cat who kind of meows and it sounds like Bohemian Rhapsody or something. So I could imagine if it happened as a one-off.
Yeah.
But I feel like for it to happen every morning just seems... That's the bit that feels far-fetched to me.
Suspicious.
Yeah. So I'm going to say false.
It's true.
Why am I so bad at your quizzes, Olivia?
That was random. I don't think you need to bring yourself down.
Come on, my first podcast, I go, act some Eurovision, sacked from Escape to the Country.
I mean, this is nothing to Escape to the Country. It's just very random.
It's about a goat.
Farmers in Yorkshire painted cows with bright colours to scare away a local bird that was stealing milk.
Was this recent? Because I feel like you wouldn't be allowed to do that. You can't paint a cow.
No, but I also feel like Olivia wouldn't have just made that up because that's so...
It feels like something that could have happened back in the day.
Yeah.
But I feel like, for it's happened recently, I don't think anyone would paint a cow and people are like, that's okay.
Well, I mean, the horses in the original Wizard of Oz film are painted with vegetable dye.
But wasn't that like back in the... When was Wizard of Oz? Is that like...
Oh, yeah, that was like back in the day.
Time, wasn't it?
Yeah, they didn't have
You're
health and safety.
You're not getting cancelled in the 40s or whenever it was, or 50s. That was encouraged. I feel like false.
Okay, false.
I'm going to say false.
Correct.
Yes, I knew you can't paint a cow.
You couldn't paint a cow.
Paint a cow, come on.
Paint a cow.
Okay, third one. A farmer in Kent grew carrots that allegedly tasted like chocolate due to unusual soil minerals.
That sounds like something I'd do on the One Show. It does sound like
that does.
You go to Kent to cover a farmer who's growing carrots that taste like chocolate. I feel like that could be true.
Okay, chocolate
and
carrot.
I feel like the detail of the chemicals or whatever you use to plant it is what has swung it for me.
Also, carrots are quite sweet, so I don't think it's that big a leap.
That's true.
Okay, chocolate carrots are true.
Fake.
Oh, Olivia. Did you make these up yourself, the false ones?
Yes.
Oh.
I think that could be made to be true.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think it's actually probably possible.
Yeah.
Last one. A Scottish farm produced a potato that grew natural patterns resembling human faces.
Yeah, that's the type of thing you would see on social media, isn't it?
Yeah, and you said it too quickly and with too much authority for that to be fake.
Yeah, sort of like, oh, this potato looks like Harry Styles. Oh, it's always like, well, you know, in the like, someone's kneecap looks like Jesus. I feel like the potatoes would look like people. I feel like we're going to go out with the true. It's going to be correct, and we're going to high five.
Okay, yeah.
Correct.
Yes, I knew it.
High
I knew it was big.
Smashed it. Okay, was that 3 out of 4? Okay, work.
I know my countryside. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
I've had so much fun. I think the world of you, and I love this podcast. So thanks for having me on here.
No, thank you for coming.
Thank you. I've enjoyed that.